Humans are these remarkable bipedal mammals, part of the species Homo sapiens, wandering this earth with their uniquely large brains that weigh about 1.4 kilograms. Inside each adult human body, there are 206 bones forming a skeleton that supports everything, while the heart quietly beats around 100,000 times each day, never stopping, never resting, pumping blood through about 60,000 miles of blood vessels that wind through our bodies like endless rivers, flowing to every corner of our being. We share nearly 99% of our DNA with chimpanzees, our closest living relatives, and yet we're so distinctly human in ways that are both obvious and subtle. Our bodies contain enough iron to forge a small nail, enough carbon to fill about 9,000 pencils, and enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. We're walking chemistry sets, really, filled with elements from distant stars that exploded billions of years ago, stardust that somehow learned to think and feel and wonder about its own existence. The average human body contains about 37 trillion cells, each one a tiny universe of activity, working together in harmony without our conscious thought. These cells communicate, cooperate, and carry out their functions in a dance of biological precision that happens every moment of every day, whether we're awake or asleep, aware or completely oblivious to the miracles happening inside us. Humans are the only creatures on Earth that blush, that visible flush of embarrassment or emotion rising to the cheeks, a phenomenon that reveals our inner emotional state to the world, whether we want it to or not. Our eyes can distinguish roughly 10 million different colors, taking in the world's beauty in ways we'll often take for granted, seeing shades and hues that paint our reality in infinite variation. Every hour, our bodies shed about 600,000 particles of skin, constantly renewing ourselves without even thinking about it, like trees shedding leaves in autumn. Over the course of a lifetime, the average person will shed about 105 pounds of skin, replacing their outer layer completely about 900 times, becoming new versions of ourselves over and over again. Over an average lifetime, a human will walk approximately 110,000 miles, enough to circle the earth more than 4 times, step by step, journey by journey. We're born with around 300 bones that gradually fuse together as we grow, settling into that final count of 206, our bodies literally joining together as we mature and develop. The human nose, meanwhile, can detect about 1 trillion different scents, though we rarely stop to appreciate this incredible ability, this power to smell rain before it falls, to recognize loved ones by their unique scent, to be transported by the aroma of cookies baking or grass freshly cut. Our sense of smell is directly connected to the memory centers in our brain, which is why certain scents can transport us instantly back to childhood moments, to grandmother's kitchen, to summer vacations, to first loves. Our fingerprints form in the womb and remain unchanged throughout our lives, each one absolutely unique, a pattern that belongs to us and us alone. The same goes for our tongue prints, equally distinctive, equally individual. No two humans have ever had identical prints of either, making each of us irreplaceable in the most literal sense. We blink about 15 to 20 times per minute, unconscious. When we sleep, our brains don't rest but instead engage in crucial maintenance work, consolidating memories, processing emotions, clearing out metabolic waste that accumulates during waking hours. Dreams occur primarily during REM sleep, when our brains are nearly as active as when we're awake, creating vivid narratives and images from the raw material of our experiences and imagination. The average human sleeps for about 26 years over the course of their lifetime, spending roughly a third of their existence in this altered state of consciousness. Our bodies follow circadian rhythms, internal clocks that respond to light and darkness, telling us when to sleep and when to wake, though modern life often disrupts these ancient patterns. Human bones are remarkably strong, with a tensile strength comparable to cast iron, yet they're also lightweight and capable of self-repair when broken. The femur, or thigh, is the strongest bone in the human body, capable of supporting 30 times the weight of a person's body, an engineering marvel of biological design. Our teeth are the only part of our body that cannot heal themselves naturally, which is why dental care is so important, why we brush and floss and visit dentists. Tooth enamel is the hardest substance in the human body, harder even than bone, a protective shield for the sensitive structures beneath. The human tongue is made up of 8 interwoven muscles, making it one of the most flexible and dexterous parts of our body, capable of the precise movements needed for speech, for tasting, for eating. We have about 10,000 taste buds, though this number decreases as we age, which is why children often find foods too strong tasting that adults enjoy without issue. Human saliva contains a painkiller called opioid that is 6 times more powerful than morphine, though in much smaller quantities. We produce about 1 to 2 liters of saliva every day, enough to fill several bottles, all working to begin the digestive process, to keep our mouths clean, to protect our teeth. The human stomach is incredibly acidic, with a pH between 1.5 and 3.5, strong enough to dissolve metal given enough time. This acid is crucial for breaking down food and killing harmful bacteria, yet the stomach lining protects itself by secreting a new layer of mucus every 2 weeks, a constantly renewed barrier against its own digestive power. Our intestines, if stretched out, would measure about 25 feet long, a winding journey for the food we eat. The small intestine alone is about 20 feet long, where most nutrient absorption occurs, while the large intestine, despite being shorter at about 5 feet, plays a crucial role in water absorption and waste formation. The human liver is the largest internal organ and performs over 500 different functions, from filtering toxins to producing bile for digestion, from storing vitamins to regulating blood sugar. It's also the only internal organ capable of regenerating itself, able to grow back to full size from as little as 25% of its original mass, a remarkable feat of biological resilience. Human lungs contain about 2,400 kilometers of airways and over 300 million alveoli, tiny air sacs where oxygen enters the bloodstream. If you could spread out all the surface area of the lungs, they would cover roughly the size of a tennis court, all packed efficiently into our chest cavity. We breathe about 20,000 times a day without thinking about it, drawing in oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide in a rhythm so automatic, we only notice it when something goes wrong or when we consciously focus on it. The average person breathes about 11,000 liters of air every single day, processing this invisible substance that keeps us alive. The human heart is about the size of a fist and beats roughly 100,000 times per day, pumping about 2,000 gallons of blood through the body. Over an average lifetime, the heart will beat more than 2.5 billion times, working tirelessly from before we're born until our final moment, the ultimate endurance athlete. Blood makes a complete its circuit through the body in about 60 seconds, traveling through arteries, capillaries, and veins, delivering oxygen and nutrients while carrying away waste products. Red blood cells, which make up about 45% of blood by volume, live for approximately 120 days before being recycled, with millions being replaced every second. The human body contains about 60% water, though this varies by age, sex, and body composition. Water is essential for every function in the body, from regulating temperature to transporting nutrients to cushioning joints. We can survive weeks without food, but only days without water, highlighting its fundamental importance. Human sweat is actually odorless when it first emerges from our pores. The characteristic smell comes from bacteria on our skin breaking down the sweat, a process that varies from person to person. We have between 2 and 4 million sweat glands distributed across our bodies, working to keep us cool through evaporation. Human hair grows about 6 inches per year on average, though this varies greatly from person to person and changes with age. Each hair follicle goes through cycles of growth, rest, and shedding, with about 90% of hair follicles in the growth phase at any given time. We lose between 50 and 100 hairs per day normally, a constant renewal that usually goes unnoticed. The only hair that doesn't grow continuously is eyelashes and eyebrows, which have much shorter growth cycles. Eyelashes typically grow for about 30 to 45 days before falling out and being replaced, which is why they remain relatively short compared to the hair on our heads. Human nails grow about 3.5 millimeters per month, with fingernails growing faster than toenails. The middle fingernail typically grows fastest, while the thumbnail grows slowest. Nails grow faster in summer than winter, faster under dominant hand, and faster when you're young than when you're old. The human eye can distinguish between approximately 10 million different colors, though some people, particularly women with a genetic variation, may be able to see even more. Our eyes are constantly making tiny movements called microsaccades, preventing the image from fading by ensuring that light constantly falls on fresh photoreceptors. The human retina contains about 120 million rod cells for seeing in dim light and about 6 million cone cells for color vision. These photoreceptors convert light into electrical signals that travel along the optic nerve to the brain, where they're interpreted as the images we see. Interestingly, the image that falls on our retina is actually upside down, but our brain flips it right side up automatically. Human tears come in 3 types: basal tears that keep our eyes lubricated, reflex tears that wash away irritants, and emotional tears that we cry when we feel strong emotions. Emotional tears contain different proteins and hormones than other tears, including natural painkillers, which may be why crying can sometimes make us feel better. The human ear can detect sounds ranging from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz when we're young, though the upper range decreases with age. We can pinpoint the location of a sound based on tiny differences in when it reaches each ear. Differences measured in microseconds, a feat of processing that happens automatically and instantly. The smallest bones in the human body are found in the ear: the malleus, incus, and stapes, collectively known as the ossicles. These tiny bones vibrate in response to sound waves, amplifying them and transmitting them to the inner ear. The stapes, the smallest of these, is only about 3 millimeters long. Human skin is our largest organ, covering about 20 square feet in adults and weighing around 8 pounds. It's constantly regenerating, with the outer layer of skin being replaced approximately every 28 days. Skin serves as our first line of defense against pathogens, helps regulate body temperature, and allows us to sense touch, pressure, pain, and temperature. We have about 20 square feet of skin on our bodies, and it contains thousands of nerve endings per square inch, making tissues, and organs working together to defend against disease. White blood cells patrol the body constantly, identifying and destroying pathogens. The immune system has a remarkable memory, able to remember pathogens it has encountered before and mount a faster, stronger response upon re-exposure. Human babies are born with about 300 bones, many of which are made of cartilage that gradually ossifies and fuses together as the child grows. The skull, for instance, consists of several bones that aren't fully fused at birth, allowing the head to compress slightly during childbirth and leaving soft spots called fontanelles that close during the first couple years of life. Newborn humans can't produce tears until they're about 3 weeks old, though they can cry from birth. Babies are also born with the ability to hold their breath and open their eyes underwater, reflexes that gradually disappear if not reinforced. They have a surprisingly strong grip reflex, capable of supporting their own weight briefly when hanging from a bar. Human infants grow at an incredible rate, typically tripling their birth weight by their first birthday. The brain grows rapidly in the first year as well, reaching about 60% of adult size by age 1 and about 90% by age 5. This period of rapid development is why early childhood experiences and nutrition are so crucial. Humans are among the few animals that can throw objects with power and accuracy, thanks to unique adaptations in our shoulders, wrists, and hands. This ability likely evolved for hunting and may have played a role in human evolutionary success. Our hands are remarkably dexterous, with opposable thumbs that allow for precision grip and power grip. The human voice is produced by air passing through the vocal cords in the larynx, causing them to vibrate. The pitch of the voice depends on how tightly the vocal cords are stretched and how fast they vibrate. The unique sound of each person's voice comes from the shape and size of their vocal tract, including the throat, mouth, and nasal cavities. Humans are one of the few species capable of vocal learning, meaning we learn to produce sounds by imitating others rather than being born with innate vocalizations. This ability is crucial for language development and is shared with only a few other species, including some birds, bats, and marine mammals. The capacity for language is one of the most distinctive human characteristics. While other animals communicate, human language is unique in its complexity, flexibility, and ability to convey abstract concepts. A typical adult knows between 20,000 and 35,000 words, though vocabulary size varies considerably. Children can learn new words remarkably quickly, sometimes after hearing them only once. The human pelvis is uniquely shaped to accommodate both bipedal walking and childbirth, a compromise that has significant implications. Bipedalism requires a narrow pelvis for efficient walking, while childbirth benefits from a wide pelvis. Human babies are born relatively underdeveloped compared to other primates, partly because if they gestated much longer, their heads would be too large to pass through the birth canal. Humans have a uniquely long childhood compared to other animals, remaining dependent on caregivers for many years. This extended period of immaturity allows for the extensive learning and brain development necessary for complex human behaviors and culture. It also creates strong social bonds and allows for the transmission of knowledge across generations. The human lifespan has increased dramatically over the past century, from an average of about 47 years in 1900 to over 70 years globally today, with many developed countries seeing average lifespans of 80 years or more. This increase is due to improvements in nutrition, sanitation, medicine, and living conditions, rather than changes in maximum lifespan potential. Humans are remarkably adaptable, having successfully colonized nearly every terrestrial environment on Earth, from Arctic tundra to tropical rainforests to high-altitude mountains to arid deserts. This circadian rhythm is approximately 24 hours long and is influenced by environmental cues like light and darkness. Disruption of circadian rhythms, such as from shift work or jet lag, can have significant health impacts. Human body temperature is maintained at approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius, though it varies slightly throughout the day and between individuals. This temperature is carefully regulated by the hypothalamus in the brain, which triggers various responses like shivering or sweating to maintain the optimal temperature for enzymatic reactions. Humans have a unique pattern of fat distribution compared to other primates. We store more subcutaneous fat, the fat just under the skin, which serves as insulation and energy storage. This fat distribution pattern varies between males and females, influenced by hormones, and changes throughout the lifespan. The human appendix, once thought to be vestigial, is now believed to serve as a reservoir for beneficial gut bacteria. When illness causes diarrhea or other problems that flush out intestinal bacteria, the appendix may help repopulate the gut with good bacteria. It's part of the immune system and contains lymphoid tissue. The human gut contains trillions of microorganisms, collectively called the gut microbiome, which outnumber human cells in the body. These bacteria help digest food, produce vitamins, train the immune system, and influence everything from mood to metabolism. The composition of gut bacteria is unique to each individual and influenced by diet, environment, and genetics. Humans have lost most of the fur that covers other primates, retaining hair primarily on the head, armpits, and groin. This relative hairlessness is unusual among mammals and may have evolved to help with cooling during persistent hunting in hot climates. We have as many hair follicles as other great apes, but most of our body hair is fine and light colored. The human foot is a marvel of engineering, containing 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. It serves as both a rigid lever for pushing off during walking and a flexible platform for absorbing shock when landing. The arch of the foot is unique to humans and crucial for efficient bipedal walking. Human hands are incredibly sensitive and capable of precise manipulation. The fingertips have about 3,000 touch receptors per square inch, more than almost anywhere else on the body. This sensitivity, combined with our opposable thumbs and fine motor control, allows us to perform delicate tasks and create intricate tools. The human ability to sweat from glands all over the body is unusual among mammals and is crucial for temperature regulation. We can sweat profusely during exercise or in hot weather, with some people capable of producing over a liter of sweat per hour. This evaporative cooling system allows humans to be active in hot conditions that would cause other animals to overheat. Humans are one of the few mammals that can consciously control their breathing, allowing us to speak, sing, and dive underwater. Most breathing is automatic, controlled by the brainstem, but we can override this control when needed. This ability is unique and enables the complex breath control needed for speech and other voluntary activities. The human voice can produce an incredible range of sounds, from the deep bass of some male singers to the high soprano of some female singers, spanning several octaves. The larynx, or voice box, grows and changes throughout life, particularly during puberty when male voices typically deepen significantly. Human memory is complex and multifaceted, involving different types of memory stored in different parts of the brain. Short-term memory can hold about 7 items for about 20 to 30 seconds, while long-term memory has essentially unlimited capacity. Memories are not stored as exact recordings, but are reconstructed each time we recall them, which is why they can change over time. The human brain is highly plastic, meaning it can reorganize itself by forming new neural connections connections throughout life. This neuroplasticity allows us to learn new skills, recover from brain injuries, and adapt to new situations. The brain is most plastic during childhood, but retains the ability to change throughout life. Humans have a unique ability for abstract thinking and symbolic representation. We can understand and manipulate concepts that have no physical form, like justice, love, or mathematics. This capacity for abstraction allows us to create complex societies, develop advanced technologies, and contemplate philosophical questions. Human emotions are complex psychological states involving subjective experiences, physiological responses, and behavioral expressions. While many animals experience basic emotions, humans have a particularly rich emotional life, with the ability to experience subtle and complex feelings like nostalgia, schadenfreude, or existential dread. The human face contains 43 muscles capable of creating thousands of different expressions. These facial expressions are largely universal across cultures, suggesting an evolutionary basis. Humans are remarkably good at reading facial expressions, even subtle ones, allowing us to communicate emotions and intentions without words. Humans have an extended period of consciousness each day compared to many animals, staying awake for roughly 16 hours. During sleep, the brain cycles through different stages, including light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, each serving different functions in memory consolidation, learning, and physical restoration. The human sense of balance relies on the vestibular system in the inner ear, which detects changes in head position and movement. This system works together with visual input and proprioception, the sense of body position, to maintain balance and coordinate movement. Disruption of the vestibular system can cause dizziness and vertigo. Humans have a relatively weak sense of smell compared to many animals, yet we can still detect thousands of different odors. The olfactory bulb, which processes smell information, has direct connections to the amygdala and hippocampus, brain regions involved in emotion and memory, which explains why smells can trigger such powerful memories and feelings. The human pupil dilates and constricts in response to light levels, protecting the retina from too much light and allowing us to see in varying conditions. Pupils also dilate in response to emotional arousal, cognitive effort, and interest, which is why people sometimes talk about eyes being windows to the soul. Human vision is primarily focused in the center of our visual field, where cone cells are concentrated in a small area called the fovea. Our peripheral vision is much less detailed, but excellent at detecting movement. This is why we need to move our eyes constantly to build up a detailed picture of our surroundings. The human heart develops from a simple tube in the embryo to a complex four-chambered organ before birth. It begins beating about 22 days after conception, long before the mother usually knows she's pregnant. This rhythmic beating continues throughout life, adapting to changing demands from rest to intense exercise. Human blood types are determined by proteins on the surface of red blood cells. The ABO blood group system includes types A, B, AB, and O, while the RH system categorizes blood as positive or negative. These blood types must be matched carefully for transfusions, as incompatible blood can trigger a dangerous immune response. The human skeleton serves multiple functions beyond structural support. Bones store minerals like calcium and phosphorus, produce blood cells in the bone marrow, and provide protection for vital organs. Despite their solid appearance, bones are living tissue with blood vessels and nerves, constantly being broken down and rebuilt. Human muscles work in pairs, with one muscle contracting while its opposing muscle relaxes. We have over 600 muscles in the body, making up about 40% of body weight in men and 30% in women. Muscles can only pull, not push, which is why opposing muscle groups are necessary for movement in both directions. The human nervous system contains billions of neurons communicating through trillions of synaptic connections. Signals travel along neurons as electrical impulses and cross synapses as chemical neurotransmitters. The speed of these signals varies from about 1 meter per second in some neurons to over 100 meters per second in others. Human pain is a complex experience involving sensory, emotional, and cognitive components. Pain signals travel from peripheral nerves to the spinal cord and brain, where they're processed and interpreted. The experience of pain can be influenced by emotions, expectations, and attention, which is why pain management often involves psychological as well as physical approaches. The human body maintains a delicate balance of fluids and electrolytes regulated by the kidneys. These bean-shaped organs filter about 200 quarts of blood daily, producing about 2 quarts of urine. They regulate blood pressure, red blood cell production, and the balance of salts and minerals in the blood. Human hormones are chemical messengers produced by endocrine glands and transported through the bloodstream to affect distant organs and tissues. These hormones regulate growth, metabolism, reproduction, mood, and many other functions. The endocrine system works closely with the nervous system to maintain homeostasis and coordinate body functions. The human thyroid gland, located in the neck, produces hormones that regulate metabolism, affecting how quickly the body uses energy, makes proteins, and responds to other hormones. Thyroid hormones influence virtually every cell in the body, affecting growth, development, body temperature, and energy levels. Human reproduction is unique among primates in several ways. Women don't display obvious signs of ovulation. Sexual activity is not limited to fertile periods, and menopause ends female reproductive capacity decades before the end of life. These characteristics have shaped human social structures and behaviors in profound ways. The human pregnancy typically lasts about 40 weeks from the last menstrual period, during which a single cell develops into a fully formed baby. The fetus develops from head to tail, with the nervous system being one of the first systems to form. By the end of the first trimester, all major organs are present, though not fully developed. Human babies are born relatively helpless compared to many other mammals, unable to walk or even hold up their heads at first. This altricial state is partly due to the constraints of the birth canal and the large human brain, which continues developing outside the womb. This extended period of helplessness creates strong bonds between infants and caregivers. The human adolescent brain undergoes significant reorganization, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in decision-making, impulse control, and planning. This region isn't fully mature until the mid-20s, which may explain some of the characteristic behaviors of teenagers. The adolescent brain is highly plastic and capable of remarkable learning. Human aging is a gradual process of physiological decline, affecting all body systems. Cells accumulate damage over time, telomeres shorten with each cell division, and various repair mechanisms become less efficient. However, the rate of aging varies considerably between individuals and is influenced by genetics, lifestyle, and environment. The human genome contains about 3 billion base pairs of DNA, encoding approximately 20,000 to 25,000 genes. Yet genes make up only about 2% of the genome, with the rest consisting of regulatory sequences and other elements whose functions we're still discovering. Each person's genome is unique, except in the case of identical twins. Human cells contain mitochondria, organelles that produce energy through cellular respiration. Interestingly, mitochondria have their own DNA, separate from nuclear DNA, and are inherited only from the mother. This mitochondrial allows to trace maternal lineages back through human history. The human stress response, often called fight or flight, prepares the body for immediate action by releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Heart rate increases, digestion slows, and glucose is released into the bloodstream for quick energy. While useful for dealing with acute threats, chronic stress can have harmful health effects. Humans have an innate capacity for empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Mirror neurons in the brain fire both when we perform an action and when we see someone else perform it, which may form the basis of empathy and imitation. This capacity for empathy is crucial for social cooperation and moral behavior. The human sense of time is subjective and can vary depending on circumstances. Time seems to slow down during novel or frightening experiences and speed up as we age and experience fewer novel events. The brain doesn't have a single clock, but rather multiple timing mechanisms for different purposes. Human creativity, the ability to generate novel and valuable ideas, involves the interaction of multiple brain networks. Creative insights often come when the mind is relaxed and wandering, which is why solutions to problems often come during breaks or in the shower. Creativity appears to involve both divergent thinking, generating many possible solutions, and convergent thinking, selecting the best one. The human ability to recognize faces is remarkably sophisticated, with a dedicated brain region called the fusiform face area. We can recognize thousands of faces and detect subtle differences between them. Face recognition is so important that we see faces in random patterns, a phenomenon called pareidolia. Human laughter is a universal behavior that appears in all cultures. It's primarily a social phenomenon, with people being much more likely to laugh with others than when alone. Laughter involves the coordinated contraction of muscles throughout the face and body, and is associated with positive emotions and social bonding. The human ability for self-awareness, recognizing oneself as distinct from others and the environment, emerges gradually during childhood. This capacity for self-reflection allows us to think about our own thoughts and feelings, plan for the future, and consider alternative perspectives. It's the foundation of consciousness and personal identity. Human culture, the shared beliefs, practices, and artifacts of a group, is transmitted across generations through learning rather than genetics. This cultural transmission allows for rapid adaptation to changing environments and the accumulation of knowledge over time. Each person exists within multiple overlapping cultures that shape their worldview and behavior. The human capacity for music appears to be universal, with all known cultures having some form of music. Music engages multiple brain areas and can influence emotions, memory, and even physical movement. The human brain has specialized mechanisms for processing rhythm, melody, and harmony. Human tool use has evolved from simple stone tools millions of years ago to the complex technologies of today. The ability to create and use tools requires planning, fine motor control, and the capacity to imagine and work toward future goals. Tool use has literally shaped human evolution, influencing the development of our hands, brains, and social structures. The human capacity for cooperation and altruism extends beyond kin to include strangers and even other species. While this behavior has evolutionary roots in kin selection and reciprocal altruism, human cooperation reaches levels of scale and complexity unseen in other animals, allowing us to build civilizations and work together toward common goals. Human consciousness remains one of the great mysteries of science. We experience a continuous stream of subjective awareness, thoughts, and sensations, yet how this arises from the physical processes of the brain is still not fully understood. Consciousness varies in depth from deep sleep to alert wakefulness and can be altered by meditation, drugs, or brain injury. Human sleep patterns are influenced by light exposure, with blue light from screens suppressing melatonin production and making it harder to fall asleep. This is why many sleep experts recommend avoiding screens before bedtime. The invention of artificial lighting has dramatically altered human sleep patterns, with modern humans sleeping less and on different schedules than our ancestors. The human yawn is contagious, triggering mirror neurons that cause others to yawn when they see or even think about someone yawning. Scientists aren't entirely sure why yawning is contagious, though it may be related to empathy and social bonding. Yawning itself may help cool the brain or increase alertness during times of transition between sleeping and waking. Human attention is limited and selective, able to focus on only a small portion of available sensory information at any given time. This selective attention allows us to filter out irrelevant information and concentrate on what matters, but it also means we can miss obvious things when our attention is directed elsewhere, a phenomenon known as inattentional blindness. The human ability to plan for the future, to imagine scenarios that haven't happened yet and prepare for them, is remarkably sophisticated. This mental time travel allows us to learn from the past, anticipate challenges, and work toward long-term goals. It's closely related to our capacity for memory, using similar brain networks. Human intuition, that immediate understanding without conscious reasoning, draws on pattern recognition and accumulated experience stored in the brain. While intuition can sometimes lead us astray, particularly in novel situations, it's often remarkably accurate in familiar domains where we have extensive experience. Expert intuition in fields like chess or medicine represents the culmination of thousands of hours of practice. The human tendency to see patterns even in random data, called apophenia, can lead to superstitious beliefs and false conclusions. This pattern-seeking behavior likely evolved because false positives were less costly than false negatives in our ancestral environment. Better to see a predator that isn't there than miss one that is. Human decision-making is influenced by numerous cognitive biases, systematic patterns of deviation from rational judgment. These biases, like confirmation bias and availability heuristic, are mental shortcuts that usually serve us well, but can lead to errors in certain situations. Awareness of these biases can help us make better decisions. The human capacity for delayed gratification, resisting immediate rewards for larger future benefits, develops during childhood and varies among individuals. This ability is associated with better life outcomes in various domains, from academic achievement to financial success to health. The famous marshmallow test demonstrated that children who could wait for a larger reward showed better outcomes years later. Human-handedness, the preference for using one hand over the other, is present in about 90% of people who are right-handed and 10% who are left-handed. This asymmetry is reflected in the brain, with language typically lateralized to the left hemisphere. The origins of handedness remain debated, involving both genetic and environmental factors. The human spine is S-shaped when viewed from the side, with curves that help distribute weight and provide flexibility. This spinal curvature is uniquely adapted for bipedal posture and walking. However, the upright posture also makes humans susceptible to back problems, particularly lower back pain, which affects the majority of people at some point in their lives. Human joints are cushioned by cartilage, a smooth, tough tissue that reduces friction and absorbs shock. Unlike bone, cartilage has no blood supply and heals very slowly when damaged. The synovial fluid in joints acts as a lubricant, and when joints crack, it's often due to gas bubbles forming and popping in this fluid. The human diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle beneath the lungs, is the primary muscle of breathing. When it contracts, it flattens and moves downward, expanding the chest cavity and drawing air into the lungs. When it relaxes, it moves upward and air is expelled. Hiccups are involuntary contractions of the diaphragm. Human babies have a diving reflex that causes them to hold their breath and slow their heart rate when submerged in water. This reflex is strongest in infants and gradually diminishes with age. It's related to the mammalian diving reflex seen in seals and whales, though much less pronounced in humans. The human placenta during pregnancy acts as a temporary organ connecting mother and fetus, facilitating the exchange of nutrients, oxygen, and waste products. After birth, the placenta is expelled, and in some cultures, there are rituals around its disposal or consumption. The placenta produces hormones essential for maintaining pregnancy. Human twins can be identical, developing from a single fertilized egg that splits, or fraternal, developing from two separate eggs fertilized by two separate sperm. Identical twins share all their DNA, while fraternal twins share about 50% on average, the same as any siblings. The rate of twin births has increased in recent decades, partly due to fertility treatments and older maternal age. The human umbilical cord connects a developing fetus to the placenta, containing two arteries and one vein that transport blood between fetus and mother. After birth, the cord is cut, and the remaining stump falls off within a few weeks, leaving the navel or belly button. The belly button is essentially a scar marking where the umbilical cord was attached. Human fetuses can hear sounds from outside the womb starting around 18 weeks of gestation. By the third trimester, they respond to voices, music, and other sounds, and may even show preferences for sounds they heard frequently before birth. This early auditory experience may influence language development after birth. The human newborn's vision is quite blurry, with babies able to see only about 8 to 12 inches clearly, roughly the distance to a caregiver's face during feeding. Color vision develops over the first few months, and visual acuity improves rapidly during the first year. Babies prefer to look at faces over other visual stimuli from birth. Human language acquisition follows a predictable sequence, with babies cooing, then babbling, then speaking first words around their first birthday, and combining words into simple sentences during their second year. Children can learn multiple languages simultaneously if exposed to them regularly, often with native-level proficiency in each. The human critical period for language acquisition appears to close around puberty, after which learning a new language becomes more difficult and accent-free pronunciation nearly impossible. However, adults can still learn languages successfully, though it typically requires more conscious effort than childhood language learning. Human moral development progresses through stages, as described by psychologist Lawrence Kohlberg. From simple punishment and reward thinking in young children to abstract principles of justice and human rights in some adults. However, moral reasoning doesn't always translate into moral behavior, and emotions play a crucial role in moral judgment. The human sense of fairness emerges early in development, with young children showing preferences for equal distribution of resources. This sense of fairness appears to be cross-cultural and may have deep evolutionary roots in our social nature. Violations of fairness norms trigger strong emotional responses in humans of all ages. Human attachment to caregivers forms during infancy and influences social and emotional development throughout life. The quality of early attachments can affect later relationships, emotional regulation, and mental health. Secure attachment, characterized by trust and confidence, tends to promote better outcomes than anxious or avoidant attachment styles. The human tendency toward conformity, adjusting behavior or beliefs to match those of a group, is powerful and well documented. Classic experiments have shown that people will deny the evidence of their own senses to conform to group opinion. This tendency likely evolved to facilitate social cohesion, but can also lead to groupthink and poor decision-making. Human social hierarchies form naturally in groups, with individuals differing in status and influence. These hierarchies can be based on various factors including strength, competence, charisma, or wealth, depending on cultural context. Status differences affect health, stress levels, and behavior, with lower status typically associated with worse outcomes. The human need for social connection is fundamental, comparable to needs for food and shelter. Social isolation and loneliness have significant negative effects on physical and mental health, while strong social relationships are associated with better health, longer life, and greater happiness. Humans are profoundly social creatures, shaped by millions of years of living in groups. Human communication extends far beyond words, with body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and gestures conveying meaning and emotion. Some researchers estimate that the majority of communication is nonverbal. We're remarkably skilled at reading these nonverbal cues, often unconsciously, which helps us navigate complex social situations. The human smile is both innate and learned, with babies smiling reflexively from birth and social smiling emerging around 6 to 8 weeks. Smiling is cross-culturally recognized as a sign of happiness or friendliness, and it can influence our own mood. The facial feedback hypothesis suggests that smiling can actually make us feel happier. Human tears contain different chemical compositions depending on their cause. Emotional tears contain stress hormones and natural painkillers not found in reflex tears, which might explain why crying can be cathartic. The act of crying can also signal distress to others, eliciting empathy and support. The human ability to mentalize, to understand that others have thoughts, beliefs, and intentions different from our own, typically emerges around age 4. This theory of mind is crucial for social interaction, allowing us to predict and interpret others' behavior. Deficits in theory of mind are associated with conditions like autism spectrum disorder. Human curiosity, the drive to seek new information and experiences, appears to be innate and serves important functions in learning and adaptation. Curiosity activates reward pathways in the brain and facilitates memory formation. While curiosity decreases somewhat with age, maintaining curiosity is associated with better cognitive function and life satisfaction in older adults. The human capacity for play, engaging in activities for enjoyment rather than practical purpose, continues throughout life, though it's most evident in childhood. Play serves important developmental functions, promoting learning, creativity, social skills, and physical development. Adult play, though less common, contributes to well-being and stress relief. Human humor and laughter are complex phenomena involving cognitive, emotional, and social elements. Different theories explain humor through incongruity, superiority, or relief of tension. Laughter is contagious and serves social functions, strengthening bonds and diffusing conflicts. Sense of humor varies widely among individuals and cultures. The human aesthetic sense, appreciation of beauty, appears to be universal, though standards of beauty vary across cultures and time periods. Brain imaging shows that experiencing beauty activates reward centers in the brain. Aesthetic experiences, whether from art, music, or nature, can evoke profound emotions and have positive effects on well-being. Human spirituality and religious belief are found in all known cultures, though the specific beliefs and practices vary enormously. These beliefs often address fundamental questions about meaning, mortality, and morality. brain imaging studies have identified neural correlates of religious and spiritual experiences, suggesting biological bases for these universal human tendencies. The human sense of wonder, that feeling of amazed admiration and curiosity, often in response to nature or profound ideas, appears to have positive effects on mood, pro-social behavior, and life satisfaction. Experiences that evoke wonder may shift attention away from self-focused concerns and promote feelings of connection to something larger than oneself. Human resilience, the ability to adapt and recover from adversity, varies considerably among individuals but can be strengthened through experience and practice. Resilient individuals tend to have strong social connections, positive self-concept, and effective coping strategies. Understanding resilience has important implications for mental health and well-being. The human experience of hope, anticipating positive future outcomes, is associated with better mental and physical health, greater achievement, and improved coping with stress. Hope involves both the belief that goals are achievable and the motivation to pursue them. Hopelessness, conversely, is a risk factor for depression and other negative outcomes. Human gratitude, the feeling of thankfulness and appreciation, has been shown to have numerous benefits including improved mood, better relationships, and enhanced well-being. Practicing gratitude, such as through keeping a gratitude journal, can increase happiness and life satisfaction. Gratitude also promotes pro-social behavior and strengthens social bonds. The human capacity for forgiveness, letting go of resentment toward those who have caused harm, is associated with better mental and physical health. Forgiveness doesn't require condoning the harmful behavior, but rather releasing the associated negative emotions. It can be difficult, but is often beneficial for the forgiver regardless of whether the offender seeks forgiveness. Human compassion, the concern for the suffering of others coupled with the desire to help, appears to be innate, though it can be enhanced or diminished by experience and culture. Compassion activates brain regions associated with caregiving and reward. Practicing compassion meditation has been shown to increase pro-social behavior and emotional well-being. The human experience of loneliness is distinct from being alone and represents a painful gap between desired and actual social connection. Chronic loneliness has serious health consequences, comparable to smoking or obesity. Modern societies, despite increased connectivity through technology, may paradoxically be experiencing increased loneliness. Human anxiety, while often unpleasant, serves an adaptive function by preparing us to deal with potential threats. However, excessive or chronic anxiety can be debilitating and is the basis of various anxiety disorders. Anxiety involves both cognitive components like worry and physical components like increased heart rate and muscle tension. The human fight or flight response, activated during perceived threats, involves rapid physiological changes preparing for action. The sympathetic nervous system triggers the release of stress hormones, increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and alertness, while suppressing non-essential functions like digestion. This response was adaptive for physical threats, but can be problematic when activated by chronic psychological stress. Human stress affects virtually every system in the body, and chronic stress is associated with numerous health problems including cardiovascular disease, weakened immune function, and mental health issues. However, not all stress is harmful. Acute stress can enhance performance and learning, and the key is how we perceive and respond to stressful situations. The human relaxation response, the opposite of the stress response, can be activated through various techniques including deep breathing, meditation, and progressive muscle relaxation. This response decreases heart rate, blood pressure, and stress hormones while promoting feelings of calm. Regular practice of relaxation techniques can buff Those states are associated with peak performance and deep satisfaction. Activities that promote flow, whether work, hobbies, or sports, contribute significantly to quality of life and happiness. Human habits form through repetition, with behaviors becoming increasingly automatic through a process involving the basal ganglia in the brain. Once established, habits require little conscious thought and can be difficult to change. Understanding habit formation and change has practical implications for health behaviors, productivity, and personal development. The human ability to imagine counterfactuals, thinking about how things could have been different, is unique and serves various functions. Upward counterfactuals, imagining better outcomes, can motivate improvement, while downward counterfactuals, imagining worse outcomes, can increase satisfaction with current circumstances. However, excessive counterfactual thinking can contribute to regret and rumination. Human regret, the painful feeling that things could or should have been different, is a common emotion that can be both motivating and distressing. People tend to regret actions more than inactions in the short term, but inactions more in the long term. Learning to accept and learn from regrets while avoiding excessive rumination is important for psychological well-being. The human experience of nostalgia, sentimental longing for the past, was once considered a medical condition, but is now recognized as a normal and potentially beneficial emotion. Nostalgia can strengthen social connections, provide meaning, and increase positive mood. It's triggered by various cues including music, smells, and places associated with past experiences. Human anticipation, looking forward to future events, can provide as much or more pleasure than the events themselves. The brain's reward system is activated during anticipation, and savoring anticipated positive experiences can enhance well-being. This is why looking forward to vacations or events often provides extended periods of positive emotion. The human tendency toward optimism bias, believing we're less likely than others to experience negative events, is widespread and generally beneficial for motivation and well-being. However, unrealistic optimism can lead to poor planning and risk-taking. Balanced realism, acknowledging both opportunities and risks, tends to produce the best outcomes. Human perfectionism, setting extremely high standards and being overly critical of oneself, can be both motivating and harmful. Adaptive perfectionism involves high standards combined with self-compassion, while maladaptive perfectionism involves harsh self-criticism and fear of failure. The latter is associated with anxiety, depression, and reduced performance. The human imposter phenomenon, feeling like a fraud despite evidence of competence, affects many high-achieving individuals. Those experiencing imposter feelings attribute success to luck or external factors, while internalizing failures. Recognizing that these feelings are common and don't reflect reality can help reduce their impact. Human self-compassion, treating oneself with the same kindness one would offer a good friend, is associated with greater psychological well-being than self-esteem. Self-compassion involves mindfulness, common humanity, and self-kindness. Unlike self-esteem, which can be fragile and dependent on performance, self-compassion provides a stable source of self-worth. The human growth mindset, believing that abilities can be developed through effort and learning, contrasts with a fixed mindset that sees abilities as innate and unchangeable. People with growth mindsets tend to embrace challenges, persist us to monitor and regulate our cognitive processes. Good metacognitive skills, such as knowing what we know and don't know, are associated with better learning and problem solving. These skills can be improved through practice and reflection. Human working memory, the ability to hold and manipulate information over short periods, is limited to about 4 chunks of information. This limitation affects learning, reasoning, and decision-making. Strategies like chunking, grouping related information together, can help overcome working memory limitations. The human hippocampus, crucial for forming new memories, is one of the few brain regions where new neurons continue to be born throughout life. This neurogenesis can be enhanced by exercise, learning, and enriched environments. The hippocampus is also important for spatial navigation and imagination of future scenarios. Human false memories can feel just as real as accurate memories, and people can be quite confident in memories that never actually occurred. Memory is reconstructive rather than reproductive, meaning we rebuild memories each time we recall them, making them susceptible to distortion. Understanding memory's fallibility has important implications for eyewitness testimony and personal narratives. The human ability for mental rotation, imagining objects rotating in three-dimensional space, shows some of the largest and most consistent sex differences in cognition, with males on average performing better. However, these differences can be reduced through practice, and there's substantial overlap between male and female distributions. Mental rotation is important for navigation in STEM fields. Human synesthesia, where stimulation of one sensory pathway leads to experiences in another, occurs in about 4% of people. Common forms include seeing colors when hearing music or associating numbers with colors. Synesthesia appears to result from increased connectivity between brain regions and may contribute to creativity and memory. The human sense of proprioception, awareness of body position and movement, relies on sensors in muscles, tendons, and joints. This sense allows us to touch our nose with eyes closed or walk without watching our feet. Proprioception can be impaired by injury, illness, or aging, affecting balance and coordination. Human thermoception, the sense of temperature, involves different receptors for heat and cold distributed across the skin. Interestingly, we don't sense absolute temperature, but rather changes in temperature. What feels warm or cold also depends on what we've been exposed to recently, a phenomenon called adaptation. The human sense of equilibrioception, balance, relies on the vestibular system in the inner ear, visual input, and proprioception. These systems work together seamlessly, and we only notice balance when it's disrupted. Motion sickness occurs when there's conflict between these sensory systems, such as when visual input suggests stillness, while the vestibular system detects motion. Human pain tolerance varies widely among individuals and can be influenced by genetics, past experience, attention, emotions, and cultural factors. Pain is not just a sensory experience, but involves emotional and cognitive components. Chronic pain can change the nervous system, making it more sensitive to pain signals. The human placebo effect, improvement from treatments with no active ingredients, demonstrates the power of expectation and belief on physical and mental health. Placebos can trigger real physiological changes, including release of endorphins and activation of reward pathways. Understanding placebo effects has implications for medical treatment and research. Human circadian rhythms influence not just sleep, but also body temperature, hormone levels, alertness, and metabolism throughout the 24-hour cycle. These rhythms are controlled by the supraplasmatic nucleus in the hypothalamus and are entrained primarily by light exposure. Disruption of circadian rhythms is associated with various health problems. The human microbiome, the trillions of microorganisms research suggests the gut-brain axis, communication between gut bacteria and the brain, may influence mental health. Each person's microbiome is unique and influenced by diet, environment, and antibiotic use. Human vitamin D is produced in the skin when exposed to sunlight, specifically UVB radiation. This vitamin is crucial for bone health, immune function, and mood. Many people, especially in northern latitudes or those who spend little time outdoors, have insufficient vitamin D levels. The body can store vitamin D produced during sunny months for use during winter. The human body's calcium regulation is remarkably precise, maintaining blood calcium levels within a narrow range crucial for nerve and muscle function. Bones serve as a calcium reservoir, with calcium constantly being deposited and withdrawn. Vitamin D, parathyroid hormone, and calcitonin work together to regulate calcium levels. Human metabolism, the chemical processes that maintain life, varies among individuals based on genetics, age, sex, muscle mass, and activity level. Basal metabolic rate, the energy used at rest, accounts for most daily energy expenditure. Metabolism naturally slows with age, partly due to loss of muscle mass, but can be maintained through exercise and adequate nutrition. The human ability to digest lactose, the sugar in milk, varies among populations based on genetic mutations that arose in dairy farming cultures. Most humans lose the ability to produce lactase, the enzyme that digests lactose, after weaning. But populations with a long history of dairy farming have higher rates of lactase persistence into adulthood. Human taste preferences are shaped by both biology and experience, with innate preferences for sweet and salty tastes and aversions to bitter tastes, which often signal toxins. However, taste preferences are remarkably plastic, and repeated exposure can increase liking for initially disliked foods. Cultural influences strongly shape what we consider palatable. The human umami taste, one of the 5 basic tastes along with sweet, sour, salty, and bitter, detects glutamate and is associated with protein-rich foods. This taste was formally recognized relatively recently in Western science, though it had long been acknowledged in East Asian cuisine. Umami enhances flavor and can increase food intake. Human hunger and satiety are regulated by a complex system involving hormones like leptin and ghrelin, blood glucose levels, stomach distension, and brain regions including the hypothalamus. This system can be disrupted by factors like stress, sleep deprivation, and highly processed foods. Mindful eating, paying attention to hunger and fullness cues, can help regulate food intake. The human body's set point theory suggests that weight is regulated around a particular level that the body defends through metabolic adjustments. While this explains why weight loss can be difficult to maintain, the set point can shift over time and may be influenced by factors like diet composition and physical activity patterns. The human body's set point theory suggests that weight is regulated around a particular level that the body defends through metabolic adjustments. While this explains why weight loss can be difficult to maintain, the set point can shift over time and may be influenced by factors like diet composition and physical activity patterns. Human exercise triggers the release of endorphins, natural chemicals that can produce feelings of euphoria and reduce pain. The runner's high is a real phenomenon resulting from endorphin release during sustained aerobic exercise. Regular physical activity has profound effects on physical health, mental health, cognitive function, and longevity. The human cardiovascular system adapts to regular exercise by becoming more efficient, with the heart growing stronger and able to pump more blood with each beat. Resting heart rate typically decreases with fitness, and the network of capillaries expands to better deliver oxygen to muscles. These adaptations improve endurance and muscles are challenged, they develop microscopic tears that repair and grow back stronger. This adaptation allows humans to become remarkably strong with consistent training, regardless of starting fitness level. The human body's flexibility varies greatly among individuals and changes across the lifespan, generally decreasing with age. However, regular stretching and movement can maintain or even improve flexibility at any age. Flexibility affects posture, reduces injury risk, and contributes to ease of movement in daily activities. Human bone density is influenced by weight-bearing exercise, with bones becoming denser and stronger in response to mechanical stress. This is why astronauts in zero gravity lose bone density, and why regular exercise is crucial for preventing osteoporosis. Peak bone density is typically reached in early adulthood and then gradually declines. The human aging process involves gradual changes across all body systems, though the rate varies considerably among individuals. Telomeres, protective caps on chromosomes, shorten with each cell division, eventually limiting cell replication. Oxidative stress and accumulated cellular damage also contribute to aging, though lifestyle factors significantly influence how we age. Human centenarians, people who live to 100 or beyond, often share certain characteristics including strong social connections, purpose in life, moderate calorie intake, and regular physical activity. Genetics plays a role in longevity, but lifestyle factors are increasingly recognized as crucial. The number of centenarians has been increasing as life expectancy rises globally. The human telomere length decreases with age and chronic stress, serving as a biological marker of aging. However, lifestyle interventions like exercise, stress management, and healthy diet may slow telomere shortening or even lengthen telomeres. This suggests that biological aging can be influenced by how we live. Human wisdom, typically associated with age and experience, involves not just knowledge but also emotional regulation, perspective-taking, and acceptance of uncertainty and change. Older adults often show greater emotional stability and life satisfaction, despite physical decline, a phenomenon sometimes called the paradox of aging. The human voice changes throughout life, from the high pitch of infancy through voice changes at puberty, to the weakening and changes that can occur in old age. The larynx grows during puberty, particularly in males, causing voices to deepen. In older age, vocal cords can become thinner and less flexible, affecting voice quality. Human hearing typically declines with age, particularly for high frequencies, a condition called presbycusis. Exposure to loud noise accelerates hearing loss. Despite this, many older adults maintain good hearing well into old age, and hearing aids can effectively address most age-related hearing loss. The human eye undergoes changes with age, with most people developing presbyopia, difficulty focusing on close objects, by their mid-40s. The lens becomes less flexible, making it harder to change focus from far to near. Reading glasses compensate for this natural change. Other age-related eye conditions include cataracts and macular degeneration. Human skin aging is influenced by both intrinsic factors like genetics and extrinsic factors like sun exposure and smoking. Sun exposure is the primary cause of premature skin aging, causing wrinkles, age spots, and loss of elasticity. Sun protection and smoking cessation can significantly slow skin aging. The human hair graying process results from decreased melanin production in hair follicles as we age. The age at which graying begins is largely genetic, though stress and certain medical conditions can accelerate it. Some people gray in their 20s, while others maintain hair color well into old age. Human male pattern baldness affects about half of men by age 50 and is primarily determined by genetics and hormones, particularly dihydrotestosterone. Hair loss patterns can vary, but typically involve receding hairline and thinning at the crown. Female pattern hair loss is different, usually involving overall thinning rather than complete baldness. The human menstrual cycle, averaging 28 days though varying considerably among women, involves cyclical changes in hormones, the uterine lining, and egg release. Understanding these cycles is important for reproductive health, and cycle characteristics can indicate overall health status. Menstrual experiences vary widely, from minimal symptoms to significant discomfort. Human menopause typically occurs around age 51, marking the end of menstrual cycles and fertility. The transition to menopause can involve various symptoms due to changing hormone levels. While menopause was once viewed purely negatively, many women report positive aspects including freedom from menstruation, and for some, improved mood and life satisfaction. The human male reproductive system continues producing sperm throughout life, though quantity and quality typically decline with age. Unlike the abrupt change of menopause, male fertility decreases gradually. Older paternal age is associated with slightly increased risks for certain genetic conditions in offspring. Human sexual behavior and desire vary enormously among individuals and across the lifespan. While testosterone levels in both sexes influence libido, psychological, social, and relationship factors also play crucial roles. Sexual activity can continue throughout life, with many older adults maintaining satisfying sex lives. The human experience of love involves complex interactions of neurotransmitters and hormones including dopamine, oxytocin, and vasopressin. Romantic love activates brain reward centers similar to those activated by drugs, which explains why falling in love can feel intoxicating. Long-term attachment involves different brain systems than early romantic love. Human pair bonding, forming long-term partnerships, is common though not universal across cultures. The capacity for pair bonding may have evolutionary roots in the need for cooperative child rearing. While monogamy is often idealized in many cultures, actual human mating patterns are diverse and flexible. The human parenting instinct is powerful, with parents typically showing strong protective and nurturing behaviors toward their children. Parenting styles vary across cultures and individuals, from authoritarian to permissive to authoritative. Research suggests that warm, responsive parenting with appropriate boundaries tends to produce the best outcomes for children. Human grandparents play unique roles in many cultures, providing childcare, transmitting cultural knowledge, and offering emotional support. The presence of grandmothers who live past reproductive age is relatively unusual among primates and may have evolved because of the benefits they provide to their grandchildren. The grandmother hypothesis. The human family structure varies enormously across cultures and has changed considerably throughout history. Nuclear families, extended families, single-parent families, and other configurations all exist. What matters most for child development appears to be the quality of relationships and support, rather than specific family structure. Human friendship serves important functions throughout life, providing emotional support, companionship, and practical help. Friendships are typically based on mutual liking, shared interests, and reciprocity. Close friendships are associated with better health and well-being, while loneliness has significant negative health effects. The human capacity for altruism, helping others at cost to oneself, extends beyond kin and reciprocal relationships. People donate to charity, volunteer time, and help strangers in need. While evolutionary theories explain some altruism through kin selection and reciprocity, human altruism appears to exceed what these theories predict. Human cooperation allows us to accomplish things impossible for individuals alone, from building cities to conducting scientific research. Cooperation requires trust, communication, and often systems for detecting and punishing cheaters. Humans have evolved sophisticated cognitive abilities for cooperation, including theory of mind and reputation management. The human sense of justice and fairness appears early in development and may have deep evolutionary roots. We're willing to punish unfair behavior even at cost to ourselves, and we have strong emotional reactions to injustice. Justice systems across cultures reflect attempts to formalize and enforce fairness norms. Human moral reasoning often involves conflict between different moral principles like care, fairness, loyalty, authority, and sanctity. Different cultures and individuals weight these principles differently. Moral decisions often involve both rational deliberation and emotional intuition, with debate about which should guide our choices. The human conscience, that inner sense of right and wrong that can produce guilt when violated, develops through socialization and internalization of cultural norms. While the content of conscience varies across cultures, the capacity for moral self-regulation appears to be universal and crucial for social cooperation. Human shame and guilt, while often conflated, are distinct emotions with different implications. Guilt focuses on specific behaviors and motivates making amends, while shame involves global negative self-evaluation and can be more harmful. Healthy moral development involves appropriate guilt without excessive shame. The human need for meaning and purpose appears to be universal, with people seeking to understand their place in the world and their life's significance. Meaning can come from relationships, work, creative expression, spirituality, or contribution to causes larger than oneself. Sense of meaning is associated with better well-being and resilience. Human existential concerns about mortality, freedom, isolation, and meaninglessness are uniquely salient given our awareness of our own finite existence. How we respond to these concerns shapes our lives and values. Some people find confronting mortality motivating, while others find it anxiety-provoking. The human awareness of death, knowing that we and our loved ones will die, profoundly influences behavior and culture. Terror management theory suggests that much human behavior serves to manage anxiety about mortality. Cultural worldviews and self-esteem may serve as buffers against death anxiety. Human grief, the response to loss, particularly of loved ones, follows patterns while being highly individual. While stage models of grief have been popular, research suggests grief is more variable and personal than these models suggest. Grief can last indefinitely in some form, though it typically becomes less intense and disruptive over time. The human ritual surrounding death, found in all cultures, serves multiple functions including honoring the deceased, supporting the bereaved, and affirming community bonds. Funeral practices vary enormously across cultures, from burial to cremation to sky burial, reflecting different beliefs about death and the afterlife. Human near-death experiences, reported by some people who come close to death, often share common features including feelings of peace, out-of-body experiences, and visions of light or deceased loved ones. Whether these experiences reflect afterlife glimpses or brain processes during extreme stress remains debated. The human legacy, what we leave behind after death, takes many forms from children to creative works to impacts on others' lives. Concern with legacy can motivate generative behaviors, contributing to future generations and society. Many people find comfort in the idea that they'll continue to influence the world after their death. Human stories and narratives serve crucial functions in transmitting cultural knowledge, moral lessons, and emotional truths. We think in narratives, organizing our experiences into stories with beginnings, middles, and ends. The stories we tell about ourselves, our narrative identity, present to the senses, is remarkably powerful. Imagination enables planning, creativity, empathy, and entertainment. Children's imaginative play serves important developmental functions, helping them practice skills and understand the world. Human dreams, occurring primarily during REM sleep, remain mysterious despite extensive research. Dreams may serve functions in memory consolidation, emotional processing, or threat simulation. Dream content often reflects waking concerns and experiences, but in symbolic or bizarre forms. Most dreams are quickly forgotten upon waking. The human experience of lucid dreaming, knowing you're dreaming while still asleep, can be learned with practice. Lucid dreamers can sometimes control dream content and use dreams for problem solving or enjoyment. Research on lucid dreaming provides insights into consciousness and the relationship between waking and sleeping cognition. Human sleep needs vary by age, with newborns sleeping up to 18 hours daily, adults typically needing 7 to 9 hours, and older adults often sleeping less. Individual sleep needs also vary. Chronic sleep deprivation has serious consequences for health, cognition, and emotional regulation, yet many people in modern societies are sleep deprived. The human ability to adapt to different time zones, while imperfect, allows us to travel globally. Jet lag results from misalignment between internal circadian rhythms and local time. Recovery from jet lag takes about a day per time zone crossed when traveling east, slightly less when traveling west. Human seasonal affective disorder, depression that occurs during specific seasons, usually winter, affects some people due to reduced light exposure. Light therapy using bright artificial light can effectively treat seasonal affective disorder for many people. This condition illustrates how human mood and energy are influenced by environmental light levels. The human production of vitamin D requires UVB exposure, which varies by latitude, season, and skin pigmentation. People with darker skin require more sun exposure to produce equivalent vitamin D. The evolution of different skin colors in human populations represents adaptation to different levels of UV radiation at different latitudes. Human skin color varies continuously across populations, reflecting evolutionary adaptation to UV radiation levels. Darker skin provides protection against sun damage in high UV environments, while lighter skin facilitates vitamin D production in low UV environments. Despite visible differences, genetic variation in skin color represents only a tiny fraction of overall human genetic diversity. The human genetic diversity is remarkably low compared to many other species, with any two humans sharing about 99.9% of their DNA. This low diversity reflects our recent common ancestry and population bottlenecks in human evolutionary history. Most human genetic variation exists within rather than between populations. Human evolution over the past 200,000 years has involved both biological and cultural evolution, with culture increasingly shaping our environment and thus evolutionary pressures. Recent evolution includes lactose tolerance in some populations, high-altitude adaptations in others, and possibly changes related to agriculture and civilization. The human out-of-Africa migration, beginning roughly 60,000 to 70,000 years ago, led to human colonization of the globe. Genetic evidence shows that all non-African populations descend from this relatively small migrating group. Subsequent migrations and population movements have created the geographic distribution of humans today. Human interbreeding with Neanderthals and Denisovans, archaic human species, has left genetic traces in modern humans. Most non-African people carry 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA, while some populations have Denisovan ancestry. These genetic contributions may influence immune function, skin characteristics, and adaptation to different environments. The human archaeological record shows gradual development of increasingly sophisticated tools, art, and cultural practices. The appearance of symbolic behavior, including art and burial rituals, marks cognitive modernity. Human cultural evolution has accelerated dramatically, particularly in the past 10,000 years since agriculture began. Human agriculture, beginning about 10,000 years ago in multiple locations independently, transformed human society. The shift from hunting and gathering to farming led to permanent settlements, population growth, social stratification, and eventually cities and civilizations. This transition also affected human biology, including disease patterns and dietary adaptations. The human invention of writing, emerging about 5,000 years ago, allowed information to be stored and transmitted beyond individual memory and oral tradition. Different writing systems developed independently in various cultures. Writing enabled the accumulation and transmission of knowledge across time and space, accelerating cultural evolution. Human mathematical ability ranges from innate number sense present in infants to abstract mathematical reasoning requiring extensive education. Mathematics has enabled scientific and technological advancement and represents a distinctly human form of abstract thinking. Mathematical notation and concepts are cultural inventions built on biological foundations. The human scientific method, systematic observation and experimentation to test hypotheses, represents a relatively recent cultural innovation. Science has transformed human understanding of the natural world and ourselves. Scientific thinking, questioning assumptions and demanding evidence, can conflict with intuitive thinking that evolved for different purposes. Human technology has evolved from simple stone tools to complex digital devices, fundamentally transforming how we live. Each major technological advance, from agriculture to writing to printing to computers, has reorganized human society. Technology extends human capabilities, but also creates new challenges and ethical questions. The human relationship with technology is complex, with technology shaping us even as we shape it. Extended use of technologies can change brain structure and function, as seen in studies of London taxi drivers or musical training. Digital technology may be affecting attention, memory, and social interaction in ways we're still discovering. Human global population has grown exponentially from about 5,010,000 years ago to over 8 billion today. This growth accelerated dramatically after the Industrial Revolution due to improved food production, sanitation, and medicine. Population growth rates are now declining in many countries, raising questions about future demographic trends. The human impact on Earth's environment has been so significant that some scientists propose we've entered a new geological epoch, the Anthropocene. Human activities have altered climate, ecosystems, and even the composition of the atmosphere. The long-term sustainability of current human practices is a major concern for our species' future. Human urbanization has accelerated, with more than half the global population now living in cities. Urban life offers opportunities, but also challenges including crowding, pollution, and reduced contact with nature. Cities concentrate human creativity and innovation, but also social problems and health issues. The human relationship with nature has changed dramatically from our origins as hunter-gatherers living closely with the natural world to modern urban life, where many people have limited nature. Contact. Research suggests that nature exposure benefits mental and physical health, reducing stress and improving mood and attention. Human biophilia. The innate tendency to seek connections with nature and other forms of life may reflect our evolutionary history. People generally prefer natural overbuilt environments and respond positively to natural elements like plants, water, and views of nature. Incorporating nature into urban design may improve human well-being. Human biophilia, the innate tendency to seek connections with nature and other forms of life, may reflect our evolutionary history. People generally prefer natural overbuilt environments and respond positively to natural elements like plants, water, and views of nature. Incorporating nature into urban design may improve human well-being. The human capacity for awe, that feeling of being in the presence of something vast that transcends our understanding, can be evoked by nature, art, music, or profound ideas. Experiences of awe appear to have benefits including reduced stress, increased pro-social behavior, and enhanced sense of connection to others and the world. Human peak experiences, moments of intense joy, wonder, or transcendence, can have lasting positive effects on well-being and life direction. These experiences, whether from nature, relationships, art, or spiritual practices, seem to tap into something fundamental about human consciousness and our capacity for profound experience. The human default mode network, active when we're at rest and not focused on the external world, is involved in mind-wandering, memory, and thinking about others and ourselves. This network allows us to mentally travel in time, imagine alternatives, and construct our sense of self. Its activity patterns change in meditation and certain mental health conditions. Human attention deficit hyperactivity disorder affects both children and adults, involving difficulties with attention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. ADHD has genetic components and involves differences in brain structure and function, particularly in regions related to attention and impulse control. Understanding and managing ADHD can significantly improve quality of life. The human autism spectrum encompasses a wide range of differences in social communication, sensory processing, and patterns of behavior and interests. Autism is better understood as neurodiversity, a different way of experiencing and interacting with the world, rather than simply a deficit. Many autistic individuals have unique strengths alongside their challenges. Human dyslexia, affecting reading ability despite normal intelligence, reflects differences in how the brain processes written language. With appropriate support and teaching methods, people with dyslexia can learn to read effectively. Many successful individuals have dyslexia, sometimes crediting it with contributing to their creative thinking and problem-solving approaches. The human experience of mental illness, from depression and anxiety to schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, affects a substantial portion of the population at some point in life. Mental illnesses involve complex interactions of genetics, brain chemistry, and environment. Treatment options including therapy, medication, and lifestyle changes can be highly effective. Human depression involves persistent sadness, loss of interest, and various cognitive and physical symptoms that interfere with daily functioning. Depression is one of the most common mental health conditions and can range from mild to severe. Understanding depression as a medical condition rather than personal weakness is crucial for seeking and receiving appropriate treatment. The human stress diathesis model suggests that mental illness results from the interaction between biological vulnerability and environmental stressors. Some people have greater genetic susceptibility, while others have experienced more stressful life events. This model helps explain why some people develop mental illness, while others in similar circumstances don't. Human psychotherapy, from psychoanalysis to cognitive behavioral therapy to mindfulness-based approaches, can effectively treat many mental health conditions. different therapeutic approaches work better for different people and problems. The therapeutic relationship itself appears to be an important factor in treatment success across different therapy types. The human placebo response in psychotherapy and medication demonstrates the power of expectation, hope, and the therapeutic relationship. While sometimes dismissed as not real, placebo effects involve genuine neurobiological changes. Understanding and ethically harnessing placebo effects could enhance treatment outcomes. Human psychiatric medications, from antidepressants to antipsychotics, work by affecting neurotransmitter systems in the brain. While these medications can be highly effective, they don't work for everyone and can have side effects. The decision to use medication involves weighing potential benefits against risks for each individual. The human stigma surrounding mental illness remains a significant barrier to seeking treatment. Stigma can be internalized, affecting self-esteem and recovery, or external, leading to discrimination. Reducing stigma through education and open discussion of mental health is crucial for improving outcomes and encouraging people to seek help. Human recovery from mental illness is possible and common, though it may look different for different people. Recovery doesn't necessarily mean complete elimination of symptoms, but rather living a meaningful and satisfying life despite challenges. Hope, social support, and appropriate treatment all contribute to recovery. The human immune system's connection to mental health is increasingly recognized, with inflammation linked to depression and other conditions. The gut-brain axis and microbiome also influence mood and behavior. This emerging understanding suggests new potential treatment approaches targeting the immune system and gut health. Human epigenetics, changes in gene expression without changes to DNA sequence, can be influenced by environment and experience. Traumatic experiences can create epigenetic changes that may even be passed to offspring. This field helps explain how environment shapes biology and has implications for understanding mental health and resilience. The human stress response, while adaptive for short-term threats, can become problematic when activated chronically. Chronic stress affects the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis, leading to sustained high cortisol levels that can damage health. Stress management techniques can help mitigate these effects. Human post-traumatic growth, positive psychological change following trauma, can occur alongside or after distress. People may develop greater appreciation for life, improved relationships, new possibilities, personal strength, or spiritual development. While not minimizing suffering, recognizing potential for growth can be meaningful for some people. The human ability to find meaning in suffering, described by Viktor Frankl and others, can be a source of resilience and strength. While suffering itself isn't good, how we respond to and make sense of difficult experiences affects their impact on our lives. Finding meaning can transform how we experience adversity. Human values, the principles and standards we consider important, guide our decisions and behavior. Values are shaped by culture, family, experience, and personal reflection. Living in accordance with one's values is associated with greater life satisfaction and well-being, while value conflicts can create distress. The human search for authenticity, being true to one's real self, is a common theme across cultures and therapeutic approaches. Authenticity involves self-awareness, honest self-expression, and living according to one's values. However, the concept of an authentic self is complex, as we all contain multitudes and change over time. Human personal growth and self-actualization, reaching one's full potential, was emphasized by humanistic psychologists like Maslow and Rogers. While the specifics of what this means vary among individuals, the process often involves self-exploration, overcoming obstacles, and developing capacities and interests. Personal growth can continue throughout life. The human life story, the narrative we construct about who we are and how we came to be that way, shapes identity and well-being. We're constantly revising our life stories as we have new experiences and gain new perspectives. The stories we tell about ourselves can either constrain or liberate us. Human personality, the characteristic patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that make each person unique, is both stable and changeable. While major personality traits show consistency across the lifespan, people can and do change, especially in response to significant life experiences or intentional effort. The human Big Five personality traits, openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, describe major dimensions of personality variation. These traits are partially heritable, relatively stable, and predict various life outcomes. Understanding personality can help people navigate careers, relationships, and personal development. Human introversion and extroversion represent one dimension of personality, reflecting where people get energy and how they prefer to interact with the world. Introverts recharge through solitude, while extroverts gain energy from social interaction. Neither is better, and most people fall somewhere in the middle. The human need for both autonomy and connection creates a fundamental tension in life. We want to be independent and self-determining, but also close to others and part of communities. Balancing these needs varies across cultures and individuals, with different people finding different optimal points. Human identity formation, the process of developing a stable sense of who we are, is particularly salient during adolescence but continues throughout life. Identity includes various aspects including personal, social, and cultural dimensions. Identity crises can occur when our sense of self is challenged or when we outgrow previous self-concepts. The human midlife period, once thought to inevitably involve crisis, is now understood more positively as a time of potential reassessment and growth. Some people do experience significant questioning of life direction during midlife, but many others experience this period as satisfying and productive, with greater self-knowledge and confidence. Human generativity, the concern for establishing and guiding the next generation, typically emerges in middle adulthood. This can take many forms, from raising children to mentoring to creating lasting work. Generativity appears to be important for life satisfaction and successful aging. The human life review process, reflecting on one's life to find coherence and meaning, is common in later life. This reminiscence can promote ego integrity, accepting one's life as it was lived, versus despair and regret. Life review can be a valuable process for older adults and those facing death. Human successful aging involves maintaining physical health, cognitive function, and social engagement as we grow older. While aging inevitably involves some decline, many aspects of functioning can be maintained or even improved through lifestyle choices. Attitude toward aging itself affects how we age. The human potential for continued learning and growth in later life contradicts stereotypes of aging as purely decline. Older adults can learn new skills, though perhaps more slowly, and many show improved emotional regulation and wisdom. Cognitive reserve, built through lifetime learning and activity, may protect against age-related cognitive decline. Human end-of-life experiences vary widely, from peaceful acceptance to fear and struggle. Quality of dying depends on many factors, including symptom management, social support, sense of meaning, and opportunity to address unfinished business. Palliative care focuses on comfort and quality of life rather than cure. The human hospice movement has transformed end-of-life care in many places, emphasizing comfort, dignity, and family involvement rather than aggressive medical intervention. Hospice care can allow people to die at home surrounded by loved ones when desired, with pain and symptoms managed effectively. And so we come full circle, back to where we started, these remarkable beings made of stardust and water, walking through our days with hearts that beat and lungs that breathe and brains that ceaselessly wonder about it all. We are each unique and yet fundamentally similar, connected to every other human who has ever lived or will ever live, sharing this brief moment in cosmic time on this small blue planet. We are creatures of biology and culture, shaped by evolution and choice, by genes and environment, by history and possibility. We carry within us the legacy of billions of years of evolution and the potential for futures we can barely imagine. We are fragile and resilient, limited and capable of transcendence, mortal yet aware of infinity. We are, in every sense, extraordinary, ordinary beings, trying our best to understand ourselves and our place in the universe, to connect with each other, to find meaning in our existence, to live well and love deeply, one fact, one discovery, one moment of awareness, one heartbeat, one breath at a time. And as you rest now, breathing slowly, feeling the weight of your body, knowing all these remarkable processes happening within you, you can let yourself drift gently towards sleep. Grateful for this human experience, this consciousness, this life peaceful and calm, ready for rest and renewal, ready for dreams and tomorrow.
Peaceful state, your subconscious mind continues its gentle work like a gardener, tending to a beautiful garden in the quiet hours of the night, pulling weeds, planting seeds, watering what needs nourishment, allowing everything to grow in its own perfect time. Your desires are like these plants in the garden. They have been planted. They have been watered with your attention and faith, and now they simply need time to grow, to develop roots, to push through the soil and reach toward the light. You do not need to dig them up to check on them. You do not need to worry about whether they are growing fast enough. You simply need to trust that nature knows what it is doing, that the intelligence within you and within the universe knows exactly how to bring your desires into form. Trust this process completely as you sleep peacefully through this night. There is a part of you that never sleeps, a deeper, wiser part that is always awake, always aware, always working on your behalf. This is your higher self, your inner wisdom, your connection to something greater than your individual consciousness. This part of you sees the bigger picture, understands the perfect timing, knows exactly what needs to happen and in what order for your desires to manifest in the best possible way as your conscious mind rests deeply throughout this night. Your higher self continues its gentle rhythm, breathing you even as you sleep so deeply. Now your heart continues its steady beat. Your blood flows through your veins, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every cell. Your body knows exactly what to do to maintain itself, to heal itself, to restore itself. While you rest, you do not need to think about any of this. You do not need to control any of this. Your body has its own intelligence, and it works perfectly while you sleep in the same way your subconscious mind has its own intelligence. When it comes to manifesting your desires, you do not need to figure out every step. You do not need to control every detail. You simply need to hold the vision, feel the feelings, believe it is possible, and then get out of the way and let the process unfold naturally, just as your body breathes, without your conscious control. Your desires can manifest without your conscious effort when you trust and allow sleep peacefully, now knowing that everything is being taken care of. You are supported, you are guided, you are loved every moment of every day and night, whether you are awake or asleep, whether you are aware of it or not. You are always held, always guided, always moving toward your highest good as you drift deeper and deeper into sleep. Imagine that you are floating on a calm, peaceful ocean. The water is warm and comfortable, supporting your body completely. You are floating effortlessly, rising and falling gently with the rhythm of the waves. There is no effort required. You simply float, and the water holds you completely safe, completely supported. This ocean represents the infinite field of potential, the quantum field, the universe itself. It holds infinite possibilities. Everything that could ever be exists here in potential form, waiting to be called into manifestation. By your focused attention, your emotion, your belief, and your faith, your desires exist here already as possibilities, as potential realities, waiting to be actualized. As you float on this ocean of infinite potential, you are drawing your desires toward you like a magnet. You are aligning with the frequency, the vibration of what you want. When you feel the feelings of having your desires, when you believe they are possible, when you trust they are coming, you align with them energetically, and they must manifest. It is lost sleep deeply, now floating peacefully on this ocean of infinite potential, knowing that your desires are flowing toward you right now, in this moment, and in every moment, even as you sleep, even as you rest, even when you are not consciously thinking about them. The process continues, the alignment continues, the manifestation continues. You might notice that your body feels very light now, as if you are barely aware of it at all. Or you might feel very heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into your bed. Both sensations are perfectly fine. Both indicate deep relaxation, deep letting go. Just notice what you notice without judgment, without preference, just allowing your experience to be exactly what it is. Your mind might be producing thoughts, and that is okay. Two thoughts come and go like clouds passing across the sky. You do just let them pass, noticing them briefly, if at all, and then returning your attention to your breath, to the sensation of your body resting too, the peaceful feeling of deep relaxation. Or perhaps your mind has become very quiet, very still, like a calm lake with no ripples, no movement, just perfect stillness and reflection. This is also wonderful. This is the meditative state where deep healing and transformation can occur, where your subconscious is most receptive to positive programming, most open to aligning with your desires, wherever you are. In your experience right now is exactly where you need to be. Trust your process. Trust your journey. You are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. And you are moving in exactly the right direction toward everything you desire as you continue to rest here, so deeply relaxed, so peaceful, so still. Allow yourself to feel a deep sense of gratitude for this moment, for this practice, for your willingness to invest in yourself, and your well-being. Gratitude for your body and all it does for you, every moment of everyday gratitude for your mind and its incredible capacity to create too. Imagine to dream gratitude for your desires themselves, because they are showing you what wants to emerge through you, what wants to be expressed and experienced in your life. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations, one of the most powerful states for manifestation. When you feel truly grateful, you are telling the universe, yes, more of this please. You are acknowledging the good that already exists in your life, and that acknowledgement creates space for more good to flow. In gratitude is magnetic, attracting more things to be grateful for. Feel this gratitude now filling your heart, your chest, your entire body. Gratitude for all that you have, all that you are, and all that is coming. Gratitude for this moment of rest and restoration. Gratitude for the opportunity to align with your desires while you sleep peacefully. Gratitude for the intelligence within you that knows exactly how to manifest what you want. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Breathe out trust. With each breath, you are filling yourself with high vibration emotions that support your manifestation, that accelerate your alignment, that bring your desires closer and closer to physical reality. You are so deeply relaxed, now so peaceful, so still, barely aware of my voice anymore. And that is perfect. Soon, you will not hear my voice at all. You will be completely, deeply asleep. And even then, your subconscious will continue to absorb these truths, continue to align with your desires, continue to draw them toward you. Imagine now that there is a golden light above you. This light represents divine intelligence, universal wisdom, source energy. Whatever feels right to you to call it, this light is pure love, pure potential, pure creative power. And it is always available to you, always supporting you, always guiding you. This golden light begins to pour down from above, entering through the top of your head, the crown of your head, and flowing down through your entire body. This light fills every cell with healing facing them with clarity and certainty. The light flows down through your face, your neck, your shoulders, washing away any remaining tension, any resistance, any doubt. It flows into your chest, filling your heart with love, and your lungs with vital life force energy. Continues down through your abdomen, clearing out any old stuck energy, any blocks to your abundance and success. This golden healing aligning light flows through your hips, your legs, your feet, and then flows out through the soles of your feet down into the earth, grounding you, connecting you, anchoring you as the light flows through you. And into the earth, it carries away anything that no longer serves you, any energy that is not aligned with your highest good, any vibration that is not a match for your desires. And as this old energy flows out, new, fresh, vibrant energy flows in from above continuously like a fountain. The golden light pours in through your crown, flows through your entire body, and out through your feet into the earth. You are a channel, a conduit for this divine, creative energy. Flows through you, continuously renewing you, restoring you, realigning you with your true nature and your deepest desires. Feel how good this feels to be filled with this light, to be cleansed and renewed, to be aligned and supported. You are not alone in this process. You are not doing this by yourself. You are connected to infinite intelligence, and it is working through you. And for you always is this. Light continues to flow through you, filling you. And surrounding you, you are held in a cocoon of golden light, a protective healing space where only love can enter, where only good can reach you. Nothing negative, nothing harmful can penetrate this light. You are completely safe, completely protected, completely held in this space of perfect safety and deep peace. Your subconscious mind is free to explore all possibilities, to consider all paths, to align all circumstances for your highest good without any fear or limitation. Holding it back, your conscious mind might have fears and doubts. But here in this deep state, those conscious limitations fall away, and your subconscious is free to create, to align, to manifest sleep, deeply now held in this golden light, knowing that you are always protected, always supported, always loved, even when you are not aware of it, even when you cannot feel it, even when you doubt it. The truth remains you are a beloved child of the universe, and everything you need is already on its way to you. Your desires are not separate from you. They are not outside of you. They are an extension of you, an expression of your souls, longing your spirits, calling the universe. Planted these desires within your heart, and the same universe that planted them will provide the means for them to manifest. Trust this completely. You do not have desires that are impossible. You do not long for things that cannot be yours. Every true desire, every authentic longing comes from your soul, and your soul would not give you a desire that could not be fulfilled if you believe it is impossible. You are simply believing a lie. Let go of that lie now and embrace the truth that all things are possible for you. As you sleep through this night, your mind will process and integrate everything we have explored together tonight, all the positive affirmations, all the visualizations, all the feelings of alignment and possibility. Your dreams may reflect this process. You may have dreams that show you solutions to challenges, dreams that reveal the next steps on your path, dreams that allow you to experience your desires as if they are already real. Or you may not remember your dreams at all, and that is also perfectly fine. The work is being done, whether you are conscious of it or not, whether you remember it or not. Trust that your subconscious is taking care of everything while your conscious mind rests deeply and peacefully tomorrow. When you wake, you will feel refreshed and restored. But you will also notice something else, a subtle shift in your energy, a new clarity about your path, a stronger belief in your desires, a deeper trust in the process. You might notice synchronicities throughout your day, little signs and confirmations that you are on the right path, that things are aligning, that your desires are manifesting. Pay attention to these signs. They are not coincidences. They are evidence that the alignment is happening. They are messages from the universe saying, yes, you are right to believe. Keep going, keep trusting, keep allowing the process to unfold. You might also receive intuitive nudges tomorrow, little impulses to take certain actions, to reach out to certain people, to explore certain opportunities. Pay attention to these intuitive hits and follow them, even if they do not make logical sense to your conscious mind. Your higher self is guiding you through these intuitive impulses, leading you step by step toward your desires. Trust your intuition. Trust your inner guidance. It knows the way, even when your logical mind does not. The path to your desires may not be a straight line. It may involve unexpected turns, surprising opportunities, people and situations you could never have predicted or planned for. Stay open, stay flexible, stay willing to follow where your intuition leads as you rest here now, so deeply relaxed, so peaceful, so trusting. Imagine that you can see into the future, see yourself weeks or months from now living the life you desire, experiencing what you want, being who you truly are meant to be. See how happy you are, how fulfilled, how aligned, how grateful this future version of you is. So proud of the present version of you for doing this work, for taking the time to align, for believing even when it was hard, for trusting even when you could not see evidence, for keeping faith even when doubt tried to creep in this future. You wants you to know that it was all worth it, that everything worked out even better than you imagined, that the journey was perfect exactly as it was. This future, you also wants you to know that you did not have to struggle or force or push so hard. You did not have to have it all figured out. You simply had to trust and allow and take inspired action. When it felt right, the universe handled all the details orchestrated all the circumstances, brought all the right people and opportunities. At exactly the right time, receive this message from your future self. Now, let it sink in deeply. You do not have to work so hard. You do not have to stress and worry. You simply have to align to trust, to believe, to allow, and to act when inspired. That is all just those simple things repeated consistently over time, and everything you desire will manifest. Sleep deeply. Now, feeling the truth of this in your body, in your heart, in your soul, you know this is true. You can feel it, even if your logical mind tries to. Doubt, trust the feeling, trust the knowing that is beyond thought, beyond logic. This is your inner wisdom speaking, and it always tells you the truth as you drift even deeper into sleep, now barely aware of anything at all anymore, so completely relaxed, so totally at peace. Allow yourself to merge with the field of infinite potential. Allow your sense of separation to dissolve. You are not separate from your desires. They are not outside of you coming toward you. They are already within you, waiting to be called forth into expression. You are not separate from the universe, from source, from the divine intelligence that creates and sustains all things. You are an expression of that intelligence. You are made of the same substance as everything else in existence. You are connected to everything and everyone at the deepest level. And through this connection, anything is possible when you realize your true nature as infinite creative consciousness, disguised as a human being for a brief time. You realize that you have always had the power to create your reality, to manifest your desires, to align your life with your deepest truth. This power has never been outside of you. It has always been within you, waiting to be recognized and used. You are waking up to this truth now, even as you fall asleep. Paradoxically, you are becoming more awake to your true nature, more aware of your real power, more conscious of your infinite potential. And this awakening will continue throughout your life, gradually unfolding, revealing more and more of who you really are and what you are really capable of. Sleep peacefully, now knowing that you are so much more than you have believed yourself to be. You are not small. You are not limited. You are not powerless. You are infinite. You are unlimited. You are powerful beyond measure. And as you remember this truth more and more fully, your life will transform to reflect it. Your desires will manifest, not because you forced them, not because you worked so hard, not because you figured it all out, but because you finally realized that they were always meant to be yours, that you are worthy of them, that you have the power to create them, and that the universe fully supports you in having them. This is the truth of manifestation. This is the secret that has been hidden in plain sight all along. You are the creator of your reality. You always have been. And once you truly know this, everything changes. Rest now deeply and completely letting these truths sink into the deepest parts of your subconscious mind, where they will take root and grow, transforming your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, and ultimately your entire reality. You are planting seeds, tonight powerful seeds, that will sprout and grow and bear fruit in the days and weeks and months to come. Trust the process, trust the timing, trust yourself, trust the universe. It is all working together for your good always, even when you cannot see it, especially when you cannot see it. Faith is believing in what you cannot yet see, and faith is rewarded always without exception. Sleep now, so deeply, so peacefully, so completely held in the loving arms of the universe, cradled in infinite intelligence, supported by invisible forces that are always working on your behalf. You are never alone. You are always guided. You are eternally loved. As you sleep through the night ahead, your body will restore itself completely. Your mind will process and integrate all that we have explored. Your subconscious will continue aligning your inner world with your desired outer reality, and your higher self will guide you toward the next perfect steps on your journey. When you wake in the morning, you will feel refreshed, energized, clear, and aligned. You will feel ready to embrace the new day with enthusiasm and faith. You will notice opportunities you might have missed. Before you will hear your intuition more clearly, you will feel more connected to your desires and more certain of their manifestation throughout tomorrow. And every day that follows, you will find it easier and easier to maintain a high vibration, to think positive thoughts, to feel good feelings, to trust the process, to believe in your desires, and to take inspired action. You will notice evidence everywhere that your desires are manifesting, that things are aligning, that everything is working out for you. And each night when you return to sleep, you will drift off easily and peacefully, knowing that your subconscious will continue this important work of alignment. While you rest, you will look forward to sleep as a time of restoration, healing, and manifestation. You will sleep more deeply, more peacefully, and more consistently, waking each morning, feeling better and better, more and more aligned. This is becoming your new normal. This is your new reality. You are someone who sleeps deeply and peacefully. You are someone whose desires align naturally and effortlessly. You are someone who manifests easily and consistently. You are someone who trusts the process completely. You are someone who lives in alignment with their authentic self and their deepest desires. Accept this new identity. Now, let it become who you are, not who you are trying to be, but who you already are at your core. This is the truth of you. Everything else has been a mask, a costume, a role you were playing. But now you are stepping into your true identity, and everything in your life will shift to reflect this truth. Sleep now deeply and completely as this new you, this aligned you, this manifesting. You let go of the old identity that no longer serves you. Let go of the old beliefs that kept you small. Let go of the old patterns that held you back. They are gone now, released, dissolved, transformed. You are new, you are free, you are unlimited. through this entire night, sleeping more deeply than you have in a long time, perhaps the deepest, most restorative sleep you have ever experienced, your body, mind, and spirit all relaxing completely, all healing, all aligning, all preparing for the beautiful life that is unfolding for you. There is nothing for you to do now, nothing to figure out, nothing to worry about, nothing to control. Just sleep, just rest, just allow the process to unfold in its own perfect way, in its own perfect time. Trust that everything is happening exactly as it should for your highest good as my voice fades away, now becoming softer and softer, more and more distant. You are drifting deeper and deeper into sleep, so deep, so peaceful, so still, completely relaxed, completely at ease, completely trusting, completely allowing. You are safe, you are held, you are loved, always, in all ways, forever and ever. This is the truth that underlies everything else. No matter what happens, no matter what changes, no matter what challenges arise, you are always safe, always held, always loved. Sleep now. Beautiful soul, sleep, deeply sleep, peacefully sleep, well knowing that when you wake, everything will be different. You will be different, more aligned, more trusting, more open, more ready to receive all the good that is flowing towards you. Your desires are aligning right now, in this very moment, quietly in the background, while you rest peacefully. People are moving into positions, circumstances are arranging themselves, opportunities are being created, all without any effort from you, all happening naturally and easily because you have set the intention. You have felt the feelings, you have believed it is possible, and now you are allowing it to manifest by getting out of the way and trusting the process. This is the magic of sleep. This is the power of your subconscious. This is the gift you give yourself by taking time to align before you drift off into sleep. You have done beautiful work tonight, and the effects of this work will ripple out into your life in ways you cannot even imagine. Yet trust this, know this, believe this, and most importantly, feel this, feel the truth of it in your body. Feel the certainty in your heart. Feel the peace in your mind. This feeling is your compass. This feeling is your guide. When you feel good, when you feel aligned, when you feel peaceful, you know you are on the right track. You know you are moving toward your desires. You know everything is working out. And right now, in this moment, you feel very good, very aligned, very peaceful. So you know with absolute certainty that you are exactly where you need to be doing, exactly what you need to do, being exactly who you need to be. Trust this moment. Trust this feeling. Trust this peace. Sleep now, deeply, completely, fully, and well, drifting away into the most peaceful, restorative, healing sleep, letting go of everything, just floating, drifting, melting into sleep. So comfortable, so relaxed, so safe, so supported. You are sleeping deeply now, so deeply that you barely hear my voice anymore. And soon you will not hear it at all. You will be completely asleep, dreaming peaceful dreams. Or perhaps not dreaming at all, just resting in the deep darkness of dreamless sleep. Either way is perfect. Either way you are healing, restoring, and aligning. Good night, beautiful soul, sleep. Well, sleep deeply, sleep peacefully through this entire night, and wake tomorrow feeling refreshed, restored, and more aligned than ever before. You are loved, you are supported, you are guided always, and in all ways sleep. Now sleep deeply, sleep well. Good night. Continue resting now in this beautiful state of deep relaxation and peace. Your entire being is at rest. Your body completely relaxed, your mind completely calm, your heart completely open, and your spirit completely aligned with your highest good and your deepest desires. Everything within you is working together in perfect harmony to manifest the life you truly want to live. As you rest here, imagine that you are lying in the softest, most comfortable bed you have ever experienced. It is as if you are floating on a cloud or resting on the gentlest, most supportive surface imaginable. Every part of your body is perfectly cushioned, perfectly supported. There is no pressure anywhere, no discomfort of any kind, just complete and total comfort. The temperature around you is perfect, not too warm, not too cool, but just exactly right for your body to relax completely. The air is fresh and clean. Each breath you take fills your lungs with pure life, giving oxygen that travels through your bloodstream, nourishing every cell in your body with exactly what it needs to function optimally, to heal completely, to restore fully. You are in a sacred space right now, a space between waking and sleeping, where miracles can happen, where transformation occurs, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. This is the space where your conscious mind releases control, and your subconscious mind takes over, doing the deeper work that cannot be done during your waking hours. In this sacred space, you have access to infinite wisdom, infinite creativity, infinite possibility. You are connected to the source of all, that is the intelligence that creates worlds, that births stars, that grows forests from single seeds. This same intelligence lives within you, and it knows exactly how to manifest your desires, how to align your life, how to create the reality you dream of. Trust this intelligence completely. It has never failed you. It has brought you safely to this moment, and it will continue to guide you forward into an ever more beautiful, ever more aligned future. You do not need to know how, you do not need to understand the mechanisms. You simply need to trust and allow. As you continue to rest here, drifting deeper and deeper into peaceful sleep, with every breath you take, with every moment that passes, become aware of how supported you are, not just by the physical surface beneath you, but by life itself, by the universe, by the invisible web of connection that links all things together. You are held in this web of connection like a precious jewel. You are valued, you are important, you matter, not because of what you do or what you achieve, but simply because you exist. You are an irreplaceable part of the whole. and the whole would be incomplete without you knowing this, understanding this at the deepest level. Allows you to relax even more profoundly. You do not need to prove your worth. You do not need to earn your place. You already belong. You always have. You always will. And from this place of belonging, everything you desire can flow to you easily and naturally. Your desires are not rewards for good behavior. They are not prizes. You must win. They are simply natural expressions of your growth, your evolution, your expansion. As a soul having a human experience, you are meant to desire. You are meant to want. You are meant to grow and expand and experience more. This is not selfish. This is the very purpose of life itself. So release any guilt or shame you may have been carrying about your desires. They are good. They are right. They are perfectly aligned with your soul's purpose. And the universe fully supports you in manifesting them. You do not need permission from anyone else. You only need your own belief, your own faith, your own willingness to receive. And you are willing to receive. You are open to receiving. You are ready to receive right now in this moment. And in every moment going forward, you are saying yes to your desires, yes. To abundance, yes. To joy, yes. To love, yes. To success, yes. To everything good that wants to flow into your life. Feel this yes resonating through your entire being. Yes, yes, yes. You are a yes to life, and life is a yes to you. Everything is conspiring in your favor. Everything is working together for your good. Even the challenges, even the delays, even the things that seem like setbacks are actually part of the perfect unfolding of your desires. Trust this, trust the process completely. As you sleep through this night, your subconscious mind will continue to work on your behalf, sorting through all the experiences of your day, filing away what is useful, releasing what no longer serves you, making connections you could not make with your conscious mind alone, finding solutions to problems that seemed unsolvable, discovering pathways forward that you could not see before. Your subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, far more powerful than your conscious mind. It processes millions of bits of information every second, while your conscious mind can only handle a tiny fraction of that amount. Your subconscious sees everything, knows everything, remembers everything. And it is always working to support you, to protect you, to guide you toward your highest good tonight. As you sleep, give your subconscious mind a clear directive. Let it know what you want it to work on, what you need help with, what you would like to manifest in your life. You have already done this earlier in our practice, but you can reinforce it now simply by thinking about your desires one more time and then releasing them completely into the care of your subconscious, trusting that it will handle everything perfectly. Imagine now that you are handing your desires over to a trusted friend, someone who loves you deeply, who wants the absolute best for you, who has far more resources and capabilities than you do alone. You are saying, here these, Are my dreams? Please take care of them for me. Please work on manifesting them while I rest. And this friend smiles at you with such love and says, of course, I will take care of everything. You can relax completely now. This trusted friend is your own higher self, your subconscious mind, your connection to universal intelligence. And it is absolutely capable of manifesting everything you desire, and so much more than you have even allowed yourself to dream of. Yet, it is working on your behalf, always, even when you are not aware of it, especially when you are not aware of it. So rest now completely, knowing that you are in the best possible hands, your own hands, the hands of your higher wisdom, the hands of the universe that loves you unconditionally and wants you to have everything your heart truly desires. As you drift even deeper into sleep, now imagine that with each breath you are releasing more and more of the old you, the you that doubted, the you that worried, the you that tried to control everything, the you that did not believe you were worthy or capable or deserving. That old version of you is dissolving now, with each exhale becoming less and less substantial, less and less real. And with each inhale, you are breathing in the new you, the you that knows your worth, the you that trusts completely, the you that believes anything is possible, the you that allows good to flow easily into your life, the you that is aligned with your authentic self and your deepest desires. This new you is becoming more and more real, more and more solid. With each breath, you are transforming right now. In this very moment, you are not the same person who began this practice. Tonight you have shifted, you have changed, you have evolved. And you will continue to shift and change and evolve throughout this night of deep sleep. And every night and every day going forward, you are becoming more and more who you truly are meant to be. This transformation is not something you need to force or make happen. It is happening naturally, automatically, as a result of your willingness to align your intention, to grow your commitment, to manifesting your desires. All you need to do is allow it to continue to unfold in its own perfect way, in its own perfect timing. Trust the transformation that is occurring within you, even when you cannot see it, or measure it, or prove it. Trust that deep changes are happening at the cellular level, at the energetic level, at the spiritual level. You are being rewired, reprogrammed, realigned for success, for abundance, for joy, for love, for everything you have ever wanted. And as you transform, your outer reality must transform as well to match your new inner state. This is law. This is how the universe works. Your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world. When you chain within, everything around you must change to reflect that inner shift. So the work you are doing tonight, the alignment that is happening as you sleep, is not just inner work. It is creating real, tangible changes in your outer reality, changes that you will begin to see and experience in the days and weeks ahead. People will respond to you differently opportunities will appear that were not there before. Circumstances will shift in your favor. Synchronicities will increase. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time more and more often. These are not coincidences. These are the natural results of your inner alignment manifesting in your outer experience. Pay attention to these signs, these confirmations. They are the universe's way of telling you that you are on the right path, that your desires are manifesting, that everything is working out perfectly. And when you notice these signs, make sure to acknowledge them, to appreciate them, to feel grateful for them, because gratitude amplifies the manifestation process. When you are grateful for the signs and synchronicities, more signs and synchronicities appear. When you appreciate the small manifestations, bigger manifestations follow. So develop a practice of noticing and appreciating all the good that is showing up in your life, all the ways things are working out, all the evidence that your desires are manifesting this. Practice will accelerate your manifestation timeline and bring your desires into reality faster than you might think possible. Sleep now deeply and peacefully, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, that you are exactly where you need to be, that your desires are on their way to you right now, in this moment. The wheels are turning, the gears are moving, the universe is rearranging itself to match your new vibration, your new beliefs, your new identity. You are a powerful creator. You are a manifesting magnet. You are aligned with abundance, success, joy, and love in every area of your life. This is who you are now. This is your truth. And your reality will reflect this truth more and more clearly with each passing day. Rest completely. Now, releasing any last little bits of control or concern, doubt that might be lingering. Just let them go like balloons floating up into the sky, getting smaller and smaller until they disappear completely. You do not need them anymore. They do not serve you. They are not true. Release them and feel how light you feel, how free, how open, how ready to receive all the good that is coming your way. Your body is so relaxed, now so heavy, and so still you might not even be able to feel it anymore. It is as if you are pure consciousness, pure awareness, no longer bound by physical form, just floating in an infinite space of peace and possibility. This is a beautiful state to be in, a state where anything can happen, where miracles are not only possible, but inevitable. In this state, there are no limitations, no impossibilities, no barriers between you and your desires. Everything exists here in this eternal now. Everything is available. Everything is accessible. You can have anything you want, be anyone you choose to be, create any reality you desire. This is the truth of your infinite nature. And even as you return to physical form, when you wake tomorrow morning, you will carry this knowing with you. You will remember at some level, even if not consciously, that you are infinite, that you are unlimited, that you are powerful beyond measure. And this knowing will inform your choices, your actions, your way of being in the world. You will walk with more confidence, speak with more certainty, act with more boldness, because you will know at the deepest level that you are supported, that you are guided, that you cannot fail, because you are one with the creative force of the universe itself. Sleep now, beautiful, infinite being, sleep deeply, and well knowing that you are so much more than you have believed yourself to be. You are not small, you are vast. You are not weak, you are powerful. You are not limited, you are infinite. And as you remember this more and more fully, your life will become a reflection of this truth. Everything you desire is already yours in the realm of possibility, in the quantum field, in the mind of the universe. It exists there, completely and perfectly formed, waiting only for you to align with it, to match its frequency, to become a vibrational match for it. And that is exactly what is happening right now. As you sleep peacefully through this night, the alignment is occurring naturally, effortlessly, automatically. You do not need to make it happen. You simply need to allow it to happen. And you are allowing it by relaxing, by trusting, by believing, by having faith, even when you cannot see evidence. Yet, even when your logical mind tries to doubt, you are choosing faith over fear, trust over worry, allowing over controlling. And this choice, this commitment to faith and trust and allowing, is the most powerful thing you can do. It is more powerful than any action you could take, more effective than any strategy you could employ, more transformative than any technique you could learn. Faith moves mountains, trust opens doors, allowing creates miracles. So, continue to choose faith, continue to trust, continue to allow, even when it is difficult, even when doubt creeps in, even when fear tries to take hold. Return again and again to this moment, to this feeling of deep peace and trust, and knowing that everything is working out perfectly, that your desires are manifesting, that all is well, and all will be well. You are doing so beautifully. You are succeeding. Even now, even as you sleep, you are manifesting, you are aligning, you are creating the life of your dreams. Be proud of yourself for showing up, for doing this work, for committing to your growth and your evolution. You are a courageous soul, and you deserve all the good that is coming your way. Sleep now, deeply, peacefully, completely held in the loving embrace of the universe, cradled in infinite, supported by forces you cannot see, but that are always there, always working on your behalf, always guiding you toward your highest good. As you sleep tonight, you may dream, and your dreams may contain messages, symbols, guidance about your path forward. Or you may sleep so deeply that you do not dream at all, just resting in the void, the darkness, the space of pure potential. Either way is perfect. Either way, you are healing and restoring and preparing for the beautiful day ahead. When you wake in the morning, you will feel refreshed, energized, clear-minded, and ready to embrace the new day. You will feel optimistic about your future, confident in your abilities, certain of your worth, you will know that you are on the right path and that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You will notice throughout your day that you feel different, somehow lighter, happier, more at ease. You will find yourself smiling for no particular reason, feeling grateful for simple things, seeing beauty everywhere you look. This is the natural result of the alignment work you have done tonight. It shifts your entire vibration, and that shift affects everything you experience. You will also notice that things seem to flow more easily tomorrow. Tasks that usually feel difficult will feel effortless. Conversations that might have been challenging will go smoothly. Obstacles that were in your way will dissolve or move aside. The path forward will become clearer, and you will feel inspired to take action when action is needed, and to rest when rest is needed. You will be in perfect harmony with the rhythm of your life, trusting the timing of everything, knowing when to move forward and when to wait, when to speak, and when to listen, when to give, and when to receive. You will be guided by your intuition, your inner knowing, and you will trust that guidance completely. This is what it means to live in alignment. This is what it feels like when your inner world and your outer world are in harmony, when your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs all match the reality you want to create, when you are no longer fighting against yourself, no longer divided, but whole, integrated, aligned. And from this place of alignment, anything is possible. Any desire can manifest, any dream can come true, any goal can be achieved, because you are no longer working against the current, but flowing with it. You are no longer pushing uphill, but being carried forward by the natural momentum of life itself. Sleep, now beautiful soul, knowing that you are in this flow, that you are aligned, that everything is conspiring in your favor. Rest completely and wake tomorrow ready to receive all the good that is flowing toward you right now. In this very moment, you are loved beyond measure. You are supported in ways you cannot even imagine. You are guided by wisdom far greater than your conscious mind can comprehend. Trust this love, this support, this guidance, and let it carry you forward into the most beautiful life you can imagine, and even beyond that, into a life more wonderful than you have yet allowed yourself to dream. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, sleep well through this entire night, and every night going forward, knowing that as you sleep, your desires are quietly aligning in the background. Your subconscious is working, your higher self is guiding, the universe is conspiring, everything is happening exactly as it should for your highest good. Good night, beautiful soul. Rest well, sleep deeply, and wake tomorrow transformed, renewed, and ready to step into the life that is waiting for you, the life you deserve, the life you are meant to live. You are ready, you are worthy, you are capable. Sleep now, and let the magic unfold.